I just broke off one video quite abruptly. I'm going to I'd veered off onto Moore's murderers, and I wanted to stick with Dutroux, the Belgian paedophile cum murderer. And like the parents and everyone else in the case, I've just been saying that I'm deeply puzzled by the two 8-year-olds who were supposed to have starved to death over a period of 4 months. The actual sequence is they were kidnapped. Within 10 days, the police had the name and address of Marc Dutroux. I must watch both videos again. But a man whose identity I'm not sure of, and a policeman, searched the house. This one man said, "I can hear voices in this building." And the policeman said, "No, it's outside," and refused to search any further. Of course, if they had searched, they would have found the two little girls. Which is the policeman's job, isn't it? I should go on before I say this, but it looks to me as if the policeman didn't actually want to find the two little girls. Didn't want them to be found. Had other ideas. And I can't quite believe that the idea was that they would be found starved to death 4 months later. What would be the point? I think the point, actually, was that they were not supposed to be found because they were going to be moved on to other paedophiles. There are a lot of reasons for my having come to this conclusion. At some point soon after this, Marc Dutroux was jailed for car theft at the time that the police and everyone else suspected that he was the kidnapper. Wouldn't it be obvious that if there's no one there to give them food and water, they would die? And for some reason, his wife, fiancée, girlfriend, whatever she was, fed the dogs but didn't feed the children. Perhaps the reason is that the little girls were not actually there anymore. They'd been moved on. Eventually, after 4 months, the story goes that they were found starved. Sort of starved. It's a story with there's two stories in one. Marc Dutroux found one of them already dead, just dead from starvation, and the other dying. Then buried them. Highly improbable. They would have been dead long before 4 months. Then the police took no DNA with which to identify these children, and refused to allow the parents to see the corpses. And as I've just said on the other video, that would be understandable. You know, what would they look like after being starved to death and decomposed? But what if they weren't allowed to see the corpses because there weren't any corpses? Or at least not in that vicinity. You just got this bang, bang, bang chain reaction. The police knew after 10 days. They searched the building. A man said, "Yes, I can hear voices." The policeman said, "No, and we're not going to search." They bang Marc Dutroux up, which leaves the two little girls completely defenseless. Or what it does is leave them in a cellar, the whereabouts being known to other paedophiles, to be trafficked on. Then they concoct this ridiculous story that the kids, survived 4 months and then died of starvation just as Marc Dutroux got back. Then they take no DNA. Then the corpses are not available to be seen by the parents. If I were those parents, I would most reluctantly conclude that the police were complicit. Well, that's obvious, actually, if you listen to the documentaries. But also, part two of the conclusion is the little girls survived at that point in time and landed up in the hands of other paedophiles, the destination intended for them by the police.